How to build an emergency fund. An emergency fund is a crucial part of your financial plan, and it can help you weather unexpected expenses or income loss. Life is unpredictable, and you never know when you might face a financial emergency, such as a job loss, unexpected car repairs, or medical emergency. Having an emergency fund can provide peace of mind and financial security when you need it most. In this video, we'll walk you through the steps to build an emergency fund, including how much you need to save, how to set up a separate savings account, and how to make saving automatic. We'll also share tips on how to cut back on expenses and stay committed to your savings plan. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to build an emergency fund and why it's so important. So, let's get started. Step 1. Determine how much you need. The first step in building an emergency fund is to determine how much you need. A good rule of thumb is to save at least 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses. This should cover your basic needs like rent, utilities, food, and transportation. To calculate your monthly expenses, start by making a list of all your bills and expenses, including rent or mortgage payments, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, and any other regular expenses. Then, add up the total amount you spend each month. Once you have your monthly expenses, multiply that by the number of months you want to save for. For example, if your monthly expenses are $2,000 and you want to save for 6 months, you'll need to save $12,000. Keep in mind that your emergency fund should be tailored to your individual needs and circumstances. If you have a stable job and a good support system, you may be able to save less than 3 months' worth of expenses. On the other hand, if you have a high-risk job or dependents, you may want to save more than 6 months' worth of expenses. By determining how much you need to save, you'll have a clear goal to work towards and can start taking steps to build your emergency fund. Step 2. Set up a separate savings account. Once you know how much you need to save, it's time to set up a separate savings account. This account should be separate from your regular checking or savings account, so you're not tempted to dip into it for everyday expenses. Look for a high-yield savings account that offers a competitive interest rate. A high-yield savings account will help your money grow faster, so you can reach your savings goals sooner. When choosing a savings account, consider factors like fees, minimum balance requirements, and accessibility. Look for an account that has no monthly fees and no minimum balance requirements. You'll also want to make sure you can easily access your money in case of an emergency. Once you've chosen a savings account, set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your emergency fund savings account each month. This will make saving automatic and ensure that you're consistently putting money towards your emergency fund. By setting up a separate savings account, you'll be able to track your progress towards your savings goal and avoid the temptation to use your emergency fund for non-emergency expenses. Step 3. Make saving automatic. One of the easiest ways to build an emergency fund is to make saving automatic. Set up a direct deposit from your paycheck into your emergency fund savings account. You can also set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings account each month. By making saving automatic, you'll be able to save consistently without having to think about it. This will help you reach your savings goal faster and ensure that you're always putting money towards your emergency fund. To set up automatic savings, contact your employer's payroll department and ask to have a portion of your paycheck deposited directly into your emergency fund savings account. You can also set up automatic transfers through your bank's online banking system. When setting up automatic savings, make sure to choose an amount that you can afford. You don't want to stretch yourself too thin and risk not being able to pay your bills. Start with a small amount and gradually increase it over time as you become more comfortable with your budget. By making saving automatic, you'll be able to build your emergency fund without having to think about it, and you'll be one step closer to achieving financial security. Step 4. Cut back on expenses. To build your emergency fund faster, you may need to cut back on expenses. Look for areas where you can reduce your spending and redirect that money towards your emergency fund. Start by reviewing your monthly expenses and identifying areas where you can cut back. For example, you may be able to reduce your grocery bill by meal planning and buying in bulk. You can also save money on transportation by carpooling or taking public transportation. Consider cutting back on discretionary expenses like eating out, entertainment, and shopping. These expenses can add up quickly and may not be necessary for your day-to-day life. When cutting back on expenses, it's important to be realistic and not deprive yourself of things you enjoy. Look for areas where you can make small changes that won't have a big impact on your quality of life. By cutting back on expenses, you'll be able to redirect that money towards your emergency fund and reach your savings goal faster. Step 5. Stay committed to your savings plan. Building an emergency fund takes time and commitment. It's important to stay focused on your savings goal and avoid the temptation to use your emergency fund for non-emergency expenses. To stay committed to your savings plan, set up reminders to check your progress towards your savings goal. You can use a budgeting app or spreadsheet to track your expenses and savings. Celebrate your milestones along the way. When you reach a certain savings milestone, treat yourself to something small, like a nice dinner or a movie. This will help you stay motivated and committed to your savings plan. If you have a setback, don't give up. Emergencies happen, and you may need to dip into your emergency fund. That's okay. Just make sure to replenish your emergency fund as soon as possible. By staying committed to your savings plan, you'll be able to build an emergency fund that provides financial security and peace of mind. In conclusion, building an emergency fund is an important step towards achieving financial security. By following these 5 steps, you can build an emergency fund that will help you weather unexpected expenses and emergencies. Remember to determine how much you need. Set up a separate savings account, make saving automatic, cut back on expenses, and stay committed to your savings plan. Building an emergency fund takes time and commitment, but it's worth it. With an emergency fund, you'll have the peace of mind knowing that you're prepared for whatever life throws your way. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, leave them in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.